There are about 1.1 million international students in the US currently. That represents about 6% of the total student population in all colleges and universities across the US. This group, this population, has contributed about $45 billion to the local economy, and they've supported about 450,000 jobs of Americans in colleges and universities across the country. So we're talking, that's what the ecosystem looks like. When you think about the impact that this policy change has, it ranges the entire spectrum, but the three primary ones are number one, financial, and that's the obvious one. International students on average pay a higher tuition than local students. And so any decline in the international student population is going to have an exponential impact on the bottom line of universities. So that's number one. Number two, research and innovation. Think of how many great companies have actually started up on college campuses and in college dorm rooms. And so any delay in research activity and innovation and anything that stifles creativity is going to have a long-term impact on society and the creation of new companies. And the third one, which is more of a short-term problem, is enrollment uncertainty. If you're a university, think about it, you're 4 to 6 weeks away from classes starting. And so you've already locked down the enrollment figures, you know who's attending, students have paid their deposits, and now when you actually have a situation where your enrollment or your start class is now put in flux, it actually places a tremendous amount of pressure on universities to say, 4 to 6 weeks from now, who's going to be in the classroom? Do we have enough students? Do we have the right faculty teaching the right classes and the right class sizes? So it's something that universities have never faced before. So those are some of the key impacts that are facing the higher ed system.
Roy, and I think this point you're bringing up about research and development is a critical one. I noticed in your notes here talking about 51% of international students pursue STEM degrees, which is pretty remarkable, especially if you would compare that to the non-international student percentage, I would imagine. But it also raises the question of if, in fact, they are going back home, this probably means they're not as likely to stay and obtain jobs here. So that has major economic repercussions too, doesn't it?
It has a major impact. And one of the stats that's really powerful is that over the last couple of decades, 55% of billion-dollar startups, so startup companies that have grown into billion-dollar companies, have actually been founded by an immigrant or co-founded by an immigrant. So when you think about international students who actually take jobs in the US and then through that creativity start up their own companies and actually help the local economy, the national economy, and the global economy, any delay or impact to that research and innovation and creativity has a domino effect on multiple aspects of society that's going to be felt not just in the US, but across the globe.